right, here we are, the 24th of February, 2020, the Crash and AJ blog and the Star Goddess podcast weekly, dropping at noon on Mondays. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
How you liking this Mercury Retrograde?
So far, so good.
Not so bad, right?
I think AJ's got, there's some foods that we can eat in the Mercury Retrograde for each of these signs.
Yeah, I've been doing a little research
I
and
like
some
it.
things that it recommends for each of the different signs.
Nice.
So we'll go through Janet's outlook.
Yeah.
And then we'll also go through what it recommends for your sign.
I like
Pepper
it.
them in.
Yeah.
Well, because this week we have, this is the new moon. The new moon, the sun is in Pisces, the moon is in Pisces. And normally, new moons mean new starts. And I'm all about new starts because I really like that. For 30 days, it's where you can focus your attention on making something new happen in your life.
Okay.
Except that Mercury, the planet of communication, is retrograde. So, and it's a terrible idea to start things during Mercury retrograde. I started a lawsuit during it, and it took 10 years, and went all the way to the Supreme Court and back. You know, and I won a bunch of money, and then it got taken away on appeal. So I'm a big fan of not starting things during Mercury retrograde, but it's a good idea because you can't just sit on your hands for the next 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
It's a good idea with the Mercury retrograde to say, here's what I think I would like to start.
Planning.
This is the area I would like to make this happen in. Let me entertain this idea and see what comes of it. And during this week, you want to look at it, investigate all the different avenues of it, but not make a decision until March 10th when Mercury finally goes direct. So it's a good idea to say, this is what I think I might like to make happen. I'm not sure if I can or not, and see what unfolds over this week that will tell you whether you can make something happen or not. So
Opportunity plus preparation, I think, means luck or whatever the case.
Yeah.
What's that saying?
Yeah.
You plan first, basically?
Yeah. So for Pisces, the sun is in their sign, Mercury is in their sign, and the moon is in their sign. So for Pisces, all week long, it's going to be about what is it that the Pisces wants, that the Pisces needs, and what does the Pisces need to do to make that happen? So if they're single, they'll attract someone. If they're married, their marriage goes well. If they've been feeling insecure about something, that insecurity tends to go away. Because when the sun is in your sign, you're really empowered. It kind of loosens your tongue and it takes the shackles off you acting, which is a really cool thing for Pisces. So what do they like to eat? They're a water sign. They're ruled by the fish. So
That's right. So basically, it's recommending that Pisces swim in the right direction by eating some seafood,
There you go.
maybe some sushi, or any type of comfort food to try and stuff your mind. They say stuffing your face with cake, not a horrible idea.
yeah.
Yeah, you could do that, but definitely recommends more the seafood route.
Yeah, because it's a water sign and it's the fish. For Aries, the next sign, Aries is the toughest sign of the zodiac, and I think out of all the signs, they are going to have the hardest time with this Mercury retrograde and the sun in Pisces and the moon in Pisces. Ordinarily, I would be telling Aries, take a step back. It's a good time to take a step back and regroup. They've had some setbacks lately, and they need to be able to take a good, hard look at those setbacks and say, how did I contribute to that? And so what was my part in that setback?
Reflection.
What have I, yes, it's reflection, introspection, taking a hard look at what it is that you did that brought this about.
Gotcha.
And even if you didn't do anything, the act of choosing not to do something is a free will choice as well.
Okay.
So it's not a good time to act. It's a good time to gather information. Don't shoot the messenger if you ask other people around you, what should I be doing or what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Don't shoot them when they tell you. You want to be receptive to that kind of thing.
You gotta digest that and
Yeah.
take that. And
Yeah,
make
you need
something
to
good out of it.
take it under advisement, take it into consideration, and yet not yet act. They won't be ready to act for a bit, so
Till after the retrograde.
till after the retrograde. Yes. For Tauruses, this energy is actually excellent energy for Tauruses because it's in their 11th house of hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives. And Tauruses are trying very hard to have the group do something that will benefit the Taurus. It may be a group project where the Taurus goes, yeah, we all do this, we'll all do really well. But at the end of the day, the Taurus does really the very best with it.
Interesting.
And so they want to be able to plot and plan that, and they have to be careful when they're committing the group to something to make sure that it's something viable. That's what they're going to try and find out this week. To say, if I do this, if I do involve the group, will it get me the result that I desire it to be, which is to better the Taurus's circumstance?
Okay.
So it's sort of like, yeah, group, I'm going to help you do that, but really at the end of the day, the Taurus is the one that benefits from it.
Interesting.
So, and it's very favorable for them. This energy, Pisces energy, is great for Tauruses.
Well, I got to say, it was great for me this weekend. I was actually having a little bit of a craving for some Greek food. So on
Ah.
Saturday night, I found myself out at a Greek restaurant, now and down, and some nice saganaki,
Ooh.
some gyros, and then the same thing happened last night as well. As my parents were jealous
Mercury
of it, so they were
Retrograde.
like, "Hey, let's go get for some Greek food." So, according to the Mercury Retrograde food recommendings, they say for Tauruses, hearty foods will do the trick, like steaks, stews, kebabs, and gyros.
Heroes, here you go, the Greek
Wow,
thing.
that's
Yeah.
nailed it pretty much for you.
How wild
How
is
funny is that?
You
I mean,
make it 3 in
interesting.
a row tonight? Is that more?
No.
And that's
No.
the definition of Mercury retrograde, is bound to be done over again and bound to be repeated. You had sushi on Saturday and then you did it again on Sunday.
Yeah, you're on both of them.
Make
for
sure your
sure.
digestive tract doesn't go into retrograde. there.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, though, backtrack for a second. Aries, it also recommends for you to go out with some friends, get some spicy foods, things like barbecue honey wings.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Aries like stuff with an edge. Aries also like to fight with their food. They're the kind of guys that will, no, I mean, they'll, you've ever eaten crab?
Yeah.
There's a lot of effort to eat
Yeah.
crab.
Oh, yeah.
Aries love that kind of thing. Hit it with a hammer, they're all about it.
Nice.
For Geminis, the next sign of the zodiac, this energy is in the 10th house of career and public standing. So Geminis everywhere are in the spotlight, but this energy squares Gemini, so they have to be careful. This is the kind of thing where they're going to go, I want more responsibility. I want to do more. I want to do more. I'm going to, and the universe is going to go, okay, job's yours. And they're going to go, well, I didn't really want all of that responsibility or all of that energy. And the universe is going to go, too bad, because you should be careful what you ask for because you're going to get it.
Ah,
So it's sort of, and the spotlight is going to be on them and their performance one way or the other. So they need to make sure that they're doing their job well and to realize that anything that they say can easily be held against them professionally. And if they say, we should do this or that, the universe is going to go, okay, we'll do it.
do Geminis have
Wow.
a problem with speaking before thinking?
Oh,
Or-
yes.
Yeah.
Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury, and the words just kind of fall out of their mouth. And they say exactly what they're thinking. They have very little filter.
When there's a communication thing going on with Mercury, that could be like...
Yeah, it can be,
yeah.
and especially when it squares their sign. The guys that
Yeah.
have the hardest time with this energy are Geminis, Virgos, and Pisces and Sagittarians. No, not Pisces because it's in their sign, but Geminis, Virgo, and Sagittarians will have the hardest time with this particular set of energies.
Wow.
So,
Keep our eye on Ryan then.
yeah, and
Exactly.
Geminis like two of things. So whatever it is, it's got to be a double trouble kind of thing.
Well, with Mercury ruling your planet there, Gemini, during this time, it says you're going to be all over the place. So is your stomach. So fast food and snacks, a great choice for you to eat. Just be careful not to overeat. And want to stay happy and healthy during this time, too. So try and go for more of the healthy snack alternative.
But they didn't give any suggestions as what double foods they should eat. I would think Oreo cookies.
yeah,
You
right?
know,
That's
chocolate
right.
and-
Ryan's a pescatarian, so
Exactly.
he doesn't do the... He's kind of limited anyway, so there you go. Good luck with that, buddy.
For Cancers, the next sign of the zodiac, Cancers, they're very, very sensitive. Their feelings get hurt very easy. This is great energy for them. For legal matters go very well for them, educational matters. If they ever wanted to slide something by that wasn't quite kosher or quite legal, this, like if you're changing the title on a car kind of a deal, this is great energy to slide that by and get away with it.
There's so much confusion going on.
Yeah. There's the yes, and they get the opportunity. They're in the middle of negotiating for contracts. So this is the time to throw out this is everything I want, and then get it winnowed down to what it is that you really want. If you start asking more, it's the kind of thing where if you're putting a bid in on a house and the guy wants $200,000 for the house and you come in at 140. The guy's going to go, no, I'm not going to do it. But the next time you come in with 170, it's going to sound like you just came up $30,000, where that's really where you wanted to be the whole time. That kind of a deal. So in Cancers, their sign is the crab. So I'm thinking crab would be a good thing for them.
One would think, yeah, because you want to revert back into that
Yeah,
shell, right?
yeah.
Well, they're saying that for Cancers that order some sushi, maybe even some
Seafood,
seafood.
yeah, there you
so
go,
there
crab.
we go. So that's not a bad
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
And if that doesn't do the trick, some sort of nice warming meal.
Hey, Cancers, let's have some dinner. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, down for sushi anytime.
Can't go wrong with that. For Leos, you ask inquisitively, this energy is about Leos. They have to be really careful financially, and I know you're paying attention because you're a Leo. Mercury retrograde in your 8th house of other people's money means that the numbers don't really add up. You have to be really careful to make sure that it's a good time for a state of the finance check to find out exactly where you stand financially.
Okay.
If you're trying to buy something, you want to make sure about that you get what it is that you're paying for.
I just got the bill for my... Remember when I had diverticulitis?
Uh-huh.
From the... I just got that not too long ago. So
Yikes.
Yeah.
You want to go over that with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that they didn't charge you. No, I'm serious
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that. They,
yeah.
I will do a line item thing whenever I get any kind of medical bills and go, hold on, I did not have that test or I did not have this done. And
So check it now and then
Yeah.
follow up with it after the
yes,
retrograde?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
gotcha.
But
All right.
it's because odds are there's stuff on there that should not be on there.
Okay.
You know, that's that kind of a thing. And
up.
it's not your earned income. It's not the money that you make, it's the money that goes out.
Okay.
So, and Leo's like anything golden in color. I don't know, crispy French fries, what?
Ah, well, as the monarch sign, they say Leos will want to indulge in some spicy, hearty, and delectable foods. So get together with some friends, go to a cool burger spot, have a nice drink, but don't drink
Right.
too much.
Check.
Something expensive, though, I would think, because Leos are a lot of things, but they're not cheap. You know? They just
We'll
don't.
find out tonight. Dinner's tonight with the fellas. All right.
For Virgos, this energy is in the 7th house of partners, open enemies, and intimate one-to-one relationships. And you say, well, how can my partner be an open enemy? It's like, oh, divorce him and see what happens. This energy, Virgos are examining all of their interpersonal one-to-one relationships. They're looking at them saying, is this relationship meeting my wants and needs? Do I get something out of this relationship? And if I don't, what do I need to do to change that to meet my wants and needs, not just my partners? Because Virgos love to please their partners. We're the servers we're nobody's servant, but we do like to serve.
Gotcha. On
So
your
you want to make
terms.
sure that you're getting, you know, that it's a quid pro quo kind of a thing, that you're getting something for the service. And they're looking at their relationships and saying, does this relationship meet my wants and needs? And if it does, great. If it doesn't, there needs to be some changes going on here. And that's what they want to think about over the next 2 weeks or so. And they need to make sure that what it is they're asking, their partner has the ability to give them.
You know what I like
'Cause it-
about this?
What?
I get this information about my girlfriend's sign before she does.
Yeah.
So I get the heads up. So I can
Smart
prepare
guy.
accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and then you know how to respond. Say, yes, dear, it's all about you. Yes, ma'am. And Virgos are the pickiest sign in the zodiac, so I'm not quite sure what you would say for what Mercury Retrograde would tell us to eat.
Well, it's saying a nice healthy meal is what you should be eating, Virgo. Healthy trends are what you like, and while
That's her.
Mercury is retrograde, you should continue on this health kick and keep your body balanced with veggies, grains, and fruits.
And you
Yeah.
should tell your boyfriend what to eat all the time. Because
We Virgos, we call that product improvement. That's what we call that. We call that product improvement. My daughter, when she first went to preschool, she was like 2.5 years old, and she comes home first day and goes, have you ever heard of these things, cookies? And it's like, because in my house, we didn't eat cookies. You know, and her eyes were this big. It's like, they're wonderful. Have you never heard of them?
you never heard of cookies?
No, I never really have. Eat that carrot, honey. Yeah. For Libras, this energy is in their 6th house of work, health, and responsibilities. And Libra, there's some sort of health issue that Libras are not quite sure what's going on with it. And this is not really the right time to get a definitive answer to that question. They have that same question about what is going on with work. There's some reorganization going on with work. They're not sure exactly what their role is going to be in that. And rather than trying to second guess, the best thing to do is to try and gather as much information as you can, because you're not going to get an answer much before March 10th on any of those questions.
Deontay Wilder just got his eardrum busted, and he's
A Libra, yes.
Libra.
He's got some, and I got to tell you, that's a serious health issue. And I don't think he's going to be able to come back from that.
I'm sure that he's getting all kinds of prognosis.
Yeah,
right
I'm
now,
sure
what's
he is.
going
And
on.
all of them, you know, they're going, oh, yeah. And I remember the trainer said, oh, it's just a little cut inside his ear. It's like,
No.
dude was gushing blood from inside his ear. It was coming out of his mouth. I think it's a little more serious than you're leading on. But,
Well, yeah, it affected the rest of the fight, too, because his equilibrium.
well,
He's got
I
an
just don't think
equilibrium
that
at
that's
point.
going to be fixed. I think that's a much
Yeah.
more serious issue than
Right.
anybody would want. And he'll find that out in November. So, unfortunately. What do they live? Anything expensive. These are the kind of guys that want not just mushrooms, they want truffles.
Well, it's funny you say that because it recommends a nice home-cooked meal. We're talking not skimping out on anything. So nice 3 courses. Don't
Okay.
skimp on the dessert. Pair it with a nice glass of wine.
Golly.
Have a little fun.
I like it. That sounds like a good
I
plan
want
for
to
you.
eat
know,
all the
right?
signs
I
for
like
some
that
reason.
better
Where
than
my
the
Libra
Virgo
friends at?
thing.
Let's go. Hit a girl up.
God, I'd rather have that than kale.
Yeah.
Yikes. I want to be a Libra. For Scorpios, I think it's the best time for Scorpios because Mercury, it's a new start as far as love and romance and creativity and anything that's fun and anything that's entertainment, anything that's a good time. It's a good time with children. The only thing you want to make sure of if you're starting on a new love affair, make sure the person is really available. Make sure they're like eligible, that they really can do that.
Do
Now,
a
that's my
research.
concern with that, and check IDs, make sure they're old enough.
It's always
Because with
smart.
Mercury Retrograde, they will lie to you about that too.
Oh yeah, because all the communication craziness.
Yeah, exactly,
Something
exactly.
Going under
So,
the radar there.
but it's a good time for creative projects. And again, if you're doing some sort of creative project, you want to try and flesh it out now, not really put it into motion, but kind of flesh it out now to see where you can take that creative energy to. And it's a good time to fall in love.
Oh.
I like that too.
Yeah,
Again,
love.
check IDs, make sure they're legitimately. I had a boyfriend that used to. He would meet somebody, then he would immediately ask them out for the weekend, because he knew people that were married could not get away for the weekend. They get away during the week.
Yeah.
So that was his test to find out if somebody
Oh,
was actually
smart.
eligible. Yeah, and I was. Worked out great.
Well, speaking of Scorpios and their creativity, that also transcribes to their palettes, creative, exotic palettes. So something
Exotic.
you want to do at this time is go out with some friends, try a different assortment of food. So maybe do some tapas, go out to an Indian restaurant.
Something
You know,
outside
have
of
some,
your
yeah, get some
comfort
stuff
zone.
from around the world. Have fun being creative and exotic.
I always read the words exotic with Scorpio. And they do that in everything, in every aspect of their life. It's a little strange, they're all for it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Get your exotic on.
That's right. For Sagittarians, you asked. Sagittarius is, I think this is very tough energy for Sagittariuses because these Mercury, the Moon, and the Sun all square Sagittarius' sign, which gives them a hard time, and it's in their fourth house of home. So there is something going on at home. They're not quite sure what it is, and it may involve children. It's more than likely to involve children in the home. And there's some story there that's not quite the truth. It's not quite true, and I don't know whether they're deliberately lying or just withholding things, but you can't really get to the root of what's wrong until you know what the real story is. And that should unfold over this week. You'll find out what the real story is. And then you'll be able to know what to do with it. But it's causing problems at home for Sagittarians, and they don't like that at all.
Oh,
Because
man.
they just,
My son Phoenix's birthday is the 13th of August.
so he's a Leo.
Leo. Is that a Sagittarian as well?
No, that's Leo.
Okay, so it depends on what time he was.
Right, what time he was born.
Okay, gotcha.
Right.
Oh, the rising?
Yeah, the rising sign. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is, and whenever I do, when any astrologer writes a column or does something like that, we're doing it as though you were born at dawn, which
Okay.
is great if you're born at dawn, lousy if you're born at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Because and what I'll tell my clients is you want to listen to your sun sign first, because that will tell you what energy is available.
Okay.
But then you want to listen to your rising sign, because that will tell you where in your life in particular that energy is going to manifest.
Okay.
So, and I figure if I don't like the Virgo, and I always look to Aries to see what's going on there.
Me too.
Yeah, that way.
And when it's a double whammy.
Yeah,
damn it.
exactly. Damn it, I'm just going to stay home. I'm going to keep my head down and stay out of the line of fire.
Ain't that the truth?
Sagittarian, Spanish food, foreign
You know
food.
what? It's funny you say that. They do recommend that any type of hearty, spicy, and decadent food. So yes, you can find some delicious, Spanish food, hearty food.
Especially around
that'll help
here.
during this time. Yeah, even some specially made burgers. If
Yeah.
Spanish isn't up your alley,
Yeah.
make some burgers at the house. Stuff some cheese in there. Have some fun with it.
Some problemo chilies in there.
Oh,
Light your
yes.
mouth up.
Yes, girl.
Kind of like it.
Check.
Yeah. For Capricorns, this energy is in the third house of day-to-day living, and there's some sort of additional educational opportunity that I don't know if it's an opportunity, there's some additional education stuff that they've been dreading doing, and they need to just do it. I don't know, it's not like you're getting a master's degree, but it's some sort of, you got to fill this square, you got to do this paperwork, you got to get this done, and they've been putting off doing it, procrastinating doing it, and it's getting down to the deadline where they're going to have to do something about it. So I think this
Vocational
is...
certification or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. This is not a good time for them to travel. And when I do travel with Mercury Retrograde, I always take my bags with me rather than checking them because I know there's a good chance I'm going to get bumped.
Ooh.
And then me and my bags are going
Makes
on
sense.
another flight.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, for Capricorns, here's something that you want to stay away from. Junk food. Put that off. Put off the junk food. Put off the vending machines during this time. Instead, indulge in quick and easy meals like sandwiches and bagels.
I thought that's what vending machines were, quick and easy food.
Well, no, like the candy bars and the chips.
Oh,
Or so,
oh.
like, get you a nice bougie sandwich.
There you go, for
Bagels
Capricorns.
and lox, you know.
For Aquarians, this is about the money. This is all about the money, and they have to be really careful because with Mercury retrograde in their second house of money, there can be financial mistakes. Banks make mistakes. You think you have more money than you don't, and that's when you end up with all those horrible overdraft fees. You end up paying more for something than you should. It's a financial cluster is really what it is for Aquarians. I think out of all of the signs, they have the worst trouble with this energy because it hits them right in the pocketbook. And there's no way to get around it. They're trying to make more money. They're trying to capitalize on something, and it's just not going forward for them.
The best thing is just to be vigilant and look at your money.
Yeah,
and all different types of money
see where it's
situations.
going, see what it's doing. It's the kind of thing where you really want to sit down and look at what interest rates are, and see that a quarter of a point on a mortgage is like $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 over the life of the mortgage, that kind of a thing. You know, so they just and they're trying. They want to make more money, and there's no real get rich quick thing, which is the sort of thing you end up falling for during Mercury retrograde. So you want to be careful with that.
So look over those finances and then maybe pull a trigger on what to do about them after.
After Mercury goes direct, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And Aquarians, I can never predict what they're going to do because they don't really know until about 2-3 seconds before they do it. So I think anything unusual, it's the kind of thing where you go out and you try Rocky Mountain oysters once. You know, would be my thought for Aquarians. So.
Well, you know what? You're not too far off of it.
Oh.
This actually recommends to get your vegetarian on. So once again, something else that might hit your pocketbook just a little bit more, but so worth it. Go out, get some falafels or maybe even a nice salad.
There you go. Yeah, I'd rather eat something exotic and fun.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to be bad. I'm going to be really bad.
Hey, I love me some falafels. Falafel taco. Have you ever tried one of those?
No.
Yes.
I
Oh.
don't know what a falafel is.
Falafel
are
taco.
Falafel taco. Basically, I had a version of a falafel taco. I'll have to, I don't even know how to describe it at this point.
I'm with you.
It
I'm
was
going
so
to go. I'm
delicious.
going to the Acropolis for Greek food. Now you've turned me on to it.
It was amazing. Yeah,
All right, that's a
falafel
good
with
spot.
some stuff all over. It was good.
Tomorrow's news today
There you
for the
go.
12 signs of the zodiac, and this is the second week of Mercury retrograde. So I know.
And this is gonna
know.
go for on for it was 3 weeks, right?
3 weeks, 21 days.
All right. Well, we'll see you for the next edition every Monday. Star Goddess podcast drops right here on the Crash and AJ blog at 98rock.com.